Good morning or afternoon, depending on what time you are listening to this podcast, and welcome to yet another episode of Do Geese Have Udders, the show where we ask the unanswered and answer the unasked, looking at news and online stuff too. I'm Michael Gooch, and as always, I'm joined by my good friend Matthew Thompson. You right, Matt?
This hand is freezing.
Good. Then let's start the show. Matthew!
Yeah.
You are a sciencey man. Well, you like science, don't you? You like learning about sciencey stuff and technology, and all that stuff amazes you.
Whoever goes, I don't like science. I don't believe in science.
That's true. Yeah, I've never met someone that. I mean, some people can understandably find some bits of science boring, but every part of science probably fascinates me. But I want to talk to you about artificial intelligence.
Yeah.
Where do you stand on artificial intelligence?
I mean, it's a good film, but I wouldn't get any of the costumes that come with it.
Stop playing with your mic.
Sorry.
What do you mean? What do you mean question?
Just
Hang on,
completely confused.
Yeah, what do you mean
then.
costumes that come with it?
I'm joking. So ask the question again. I completely baffled you.
Matt, where do you stand on artificial intelligence?
Well, I tried to get on top of it, but it's hard to jump on someone's shoulders that don't exist.
Oh, is that what you wanted? You just wanted time to try and think of another pun?
No, it's not
on
pun.
the
That's
way
what
I
I
said
think of it.
Right. Okay. Well,
rude!
What do you know? What do you understand to be artificial intelligence? If someone says this has an AI in it or artificial intelligence, what does that mean to you?
Artificial intelligence. That's what AI means.
Yes. That's exactly what I just said. What does it mean to you if somebody said this has artificial intelligence in it?
Wow. Does it learn it's from itself, or does it have you programmed it to be a certain way? Because you could say like a Minecraft villager is an AI. Like, what's your where's your standing point, or do you mean like the Terminator? That's a different sort of AI as well.
I don't know what
do you stand for?
The Terminator would be an AI.
And then you've got NPC AIs as well. That just have a set code.
To an example is that it's something. I understand artificial intelligence to be something that has the capability to think for itself, move by itself, make its own decisions on what it's doing. So
a good AI is something that learns.
Yeah.
Like the thing from Free Guy. That's a good way to explain it.
That's a very good idea to explain. We like Free Guy, don't we?
Yeah,
good film.
Right.
So something I looked up about AI. I thought this was interesting. The first working AI programs were written in 1951 to run on the Ferranti Mark I machine of the University of Manchester.
Classic machine. Classic machine.
Mwah,
I remember
perfection. In the University of Manchester. And it was a checkers playing program written by a guy called Christopher Strachey, and a chess playing program written by Dietrich Prinz, I believe his name was. So the first AI was a checkers playing program. I think that's quite fascinating.
Yeah.
What are you playing with of it? You're so entertained with something. Have you got like a knife or something?
No,
You're just
key.
carving the table. A key.
Pushing it in the hinges.
I'm sharing you information and knowledge here,
I
Matt.
know everything
You're
about
sitting
AI.
there counting down your days on the table.
I know everything about AI. Ask me another question about AI and I can answer it.
About AI? Well, what's the benefit of using AI in technology?
I don't know. Makes humans obsolete. That's always a good thing.
How's that good? Are you an AI?
Maybe. You wouldn't know. The future's now, man.
So talking about AI, you get things now like loads of bots and stuff like that online. I know you use YouTube a lot. You must find bots in the comments a lot of the times and things like that.
They sort of used another AI to block them. But
do you remember a famous AI on Twitter a few years ago?
No, I don't use Twitter, but I'm pretty sure they turned it off.
They did.
Or they made two AIs and they started talking to each other or something.
They might very well have done, but this is focusing on one of the first AI or artificial intelligence like Twitter accounts. And if you don't remember, so this was an AI created by Twitter called Tay in 2016. More specifically, March 23rd, 2016.
Didn't it become racist or something?
That is the very one I'm talking about. So
Tay... It like read loads of tweets from
yes,
the whole
so
Twitter.
It based itself
spat them back out.
And based how it spoke to people and all that and what it tweeted on what it read online. And so March 23rd, 2016 is when Tay went up. And how long do you think it was before she or it was shut down?
6 hours.
I mean, you got one of the numbers right. 16 hours. is how long it was up, because
That's because they
as you
fell
said,
asleep.
it began. I don't think so.
That's 'cause the
I
owners
think
fell
it's because they
asleep.
had to then work out, is it worth keeping something like this up?
The owners went asleep. You only stay awake for like 12 hours.
And so 16 hours later, yeah, it was taken down because it began tweeting things about race, gender, feminism, etc. Loads of things like that. Microsoft then re-released it later in March, but then shut it down again after posting stuff like taking drugs in front of the police and getting in a loop and just constantly repeating the same thing over and over. According to Microsoft, it was the fault of trolls attacking her, and that was what was prompting the replies.
Oh yeah.
And so that was the famous death of Tay. But what you might be unaware of, in December of 2016, a few months later, Zoe was released, and this was the successor of Tay. And in April 2019 is when it got shut down after joking about Microsoft and spyware and some other things. It began joking about the own company that created it and put it out there on Twitter. And I'm trying to look for the quote. Here it is. From The Verge online. Their quote on how to describe AIs like Tay: it was a parrot with an internet connection.
Yeah.
And I think that's a very poetic way to describe artificial intelligence.
See, I wouldn't call that AI personally. I'd call it an algorithm.
Well, I mean, AIs are based on some sort of algorithm, but they're able to make their own decisions to an extent.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a copy and paste machine.
You can't have an AI without an algorithm.
That's basically just a phone. That's basically just like an auto phoner that phones numbers.
An auto phoner that phones numbers.
Yeah, it's just something that goes through each number and changes the last digit until it like hits 9, then it changes the next one. And it just phones loads of numbers.
Kind of. So like Tay was just looking at stuff online and then finding stuff and then just putting it back out there. But yeah, I found it interesting. I didn't know about Zoe. I probably did around 2016 when it came out, but thought nothing of it. But yeah, that lasted till 2019. And then I just find it hilarious that it began joking about its own creators. I think that's absolutely hilarious. It's terrifying, but absolutely hilarious.
Who are you mocking, dead?
And so something else that AI has been used for in recent years, I'd say, is for doing scripts and things like that. So you probably heard of Corridor Crew on YouTube, or Corridor Digital. Have you not?
No.
Oh well, they're one of my favourite YouTube channels. They do a lot of visual effects breakdowns and special effects breakdowns for films and TV scenes, sort of discussing their editors, and they discuss how they think it was done.
Yeah.
Very, very fascinating. Very recently, they spoke about what could be the future of all like movie cameras.
Yeah.
And it's like this camera that has a gimbal built into it and all this other stuff. And it's I'm not that much of a camera person, but it fascinates me. Well, I mean, not to the extent that I know people are in the film industry, but like I'm really fascinated by this
you're
camera.
a camera person.
And so Corridor Crew once used a software online called Inferkit.com. I'll put a link in the description if you like. And they challenged this AI to write a sequel to James Cameron's Avatar. And they did this in December 2020 last year. And so what they did is on this Inferkit thing, they literally copy and pasted, or found some way to do it, the whole entire script from Avatar.
Yeah.
And because obviously they know Avatar 2 and 3, 4 and 5 are coming out soon, they wanted to see if an AI could do a better job in the meantime.
Probably.
And oh my god, it was hilariously bad. Like they knew it wasn't going to be great, but obviously this AI in the software was basing this story off what it had previously read.
Yeah.
And if you've not watched that video, I might link that one as well in the description. I do recommend it because I think it's hilarious. And so that is some other benefits for AI writing software like Inferkit. I know there's quite a few other ones as well. Although most of them want you to pay for them because obviously, I mean, they're not cheap things, I guess, to have created. But the benefits of things like these are to help writer's block, help word promos, and a lot of marketing companies and people use it as well.
Yeah.
And I just want to know your opinion on when you think writers and stuff might be obsolete because of AI. Do you think AI could ever replace the mind that is the human?
Probably.
That's a sad way to think, isn't it? For someone like me who quite enjoys writing, you think I could just be replaced by a computer?
Yes.
Oh, great.
You know that like
Thanks,
job,
Matt.
you know that thing called a cashier?
What, because they've been replaced by the self-scans?
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you
You
what,
replace
Matt.
anything with a robot.
If you think that I can be so easily replaced
Yeah.
by a computer,
Yeah.
I did spend some time actually on a bit of software, and I
Yeah.
have got some AI scripts of the podcast.
Okay.
So I've got some scripts here
Okay.
that were done on a website called DeepStory.ai,
That's deep.
and what it basically did is it's a cheaper version of the Inferkit one because that makes you pay. This one was
It
free.
made up a script.
What I
I'm
couldn't
guessing.
do was find the time to put loads of our episodes into this software and then have it churn out a script.
Yeah.
So in the end, what I've done is I gave it prompts at several points and let it carry on from them.
Yeah.
So this is about 95% completely written by an AI. And so it's only being able to base itself on the stuff that has been said prior, which prior to the first sentence was nothing. And I have been sitting on these for many, many months, waiting for the right time to bring them to you.
Yeah.
And I think that you will enjoy them if we do a segment now.
You stop faffing and give
That
me the
is
script.
that is written by
Stop faffing.
an AI. So
We've
there's
lost
your
12 viewers now with your faff.
right. Well, let's crack on. This is a script written 95% by an AI online writing
I
software.
don't like the font. I'm not reading it. I'm joking. I read it.
So Matt, what have you been up to this week?
Oh, you know, the usual.
What's the usual? Every week I talk to some of my own stuff and more. So how about I answer all your questions tonight?
All my questions? Oh, Jesus. Just read the questions on the table. It won't take long.
You certainly have some weird ones here.
Heck. Even some questions I've had any answer to. Okay, go ahead.
I'm Matt. Great question. What's your relationship to geese? Do they have udders? Are they artificial?
What the are you talking about?
Geese. Yeah, that was a good one. What are they?
Are you high?
No, I'm not high. I'm in the zone.
Tell me about the zone.
I'll tell you about the zone.
Please do.
So, this zone. I think it's a lot like some ancient myth I've heard about, but never really understood. Just some bird that's sitting there in the sky, talking to the moon. It thinks there's going to be rain, and suddenly it's going to turn and get hit by a truck.
Whoa. That's deep, bro.
I'll talk more about it later. So what questions have you got on your mind?
Alright, cool. The question on my mind is, are earlobes greasy?
Well, that's hard to say. They're not greasy, but they're pretty greasy.
Are you going to do this with me?
Clean your ears?
Yeah, do it. Get it out of here now.
Oh, Christ. Okay.
Oh god, you actually have a swab. Yeah, thank you.
Your ear is stuck in my swab.
Oh no. Green goo is in his. Oh no, that's not the script. I even know what that earlobsy is. Geolubsy wet.
What?
Oh. Can I put this down now?
Yeah, you can.
Enough about my ears. What else should I talk about?
Well, Matt's is John.
I is a John.
John.
I want to catch fries. Any suggestions?
Well, not any combinations. No combo.
So just one word. I have an idea. Oh no, I don't say that. I think it shall be perfect.
Marlow Beezy.
What does that mean?
It means some birds are birds, like John. Well, I suppose we should say goodbye now. Any last words?
Be birdies like, I guess that is a secret?
And some aren't birds.
Birds are dumb and stupid.
Thoughts on an AI script?
I don't know.
That's the highlight of your week, isn't it?
I think we should dress up as costumes and do it. I think it'll be hilarious.
Hey, thanks for listening to our podcast. Don't forget to give that follow or subscribe button a click so you don't miss out on any future episodes. And why not check out our Twitter and Discord too, where we post updates, behind the scenes stuff, and just general other news about the show. Links in the description below. Got any topics or questions you think need a proper answer or have yet to even be asked? Drop it in the comments below or send us a tweet. Until next time.